Now, I thank you all for coming out. We got a fantastic show lined up here. You ready to get your next comedian up on the stage? Yeah! Fantastic, man. This next comedian, he's another local East Texas comedian like myself. Please give a round of applause for Kevin Hollingsworth.
What's going on, everybody? So I'm gonna do something a little different tonight. Usually I get up here and I spit comedy genius, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell y'all a story tonight. Is that okay? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you a little story. Cool, I know it is because I'm gonna do it anyways. So, a little backstory to it. Do you ever roll around and think of somebody? Like maybe somebody you've lost or somebody you really care about, you just get a memory. You ever do that? You ever hear that? Yeah. Good memories, sometimes bad, but most times good memories, okay? So I was rolling around the other day and a memory came of my dad. Now I lost my dad about 7 years ago, but a memory came to me, and it was an amazing memory. So, a few things you gotta know first before I tell you that about my dad. My dad was an alcoholic, but not a bad one. Not a bad one. My dad was fucking fun when he got drunk. He was the life of the party. You wanted my dad to be drunk. Because if Troy was drunk, shit's going down, and it's always fun. So, now that y'all know that, now I gotta tell y'all about the time when I was 11 years old, and I broke my arm while masturbating in the shower. Stay with me. So, as a young boy, you get boners, all the men here know that. You get little hard-ons, they sting all the time when you're a young kid until they don't sting. And then your life changes. So, I saw my dad, and my dad had Playboy magazines. Shout out to Playboy. Thank you. Now, because my dad was classy, and I grew up in a good home. If you grew up in a home that your dad had Hustler magazines, you probably got touched a little bit as a kid. Or somebody did. Somebody got touched if your dad had Hustlers. But my dad had Playboy. He did not see me, but I saw him and I saw where he put him. So this was a good old Saturday at the house. My dad's outside with his friends drinking. My mom was with my sisters in the living room because they were Girl Scout things and they were doing their own shit. And I'm kind of by myself back in the back of the house. And I'm like, I'm gonna go stream me a Playboy real quick. So I ran in there and grabbed a Playboy. And if I didn't just strike gold right off the bat, people, I grabbed the Playboy that had Vanna White from the Wheel of Fortune in it, people. In her glory, people, when she first got them titties. This time, and she still had the bush nose from tip to navel, baby. That shit was sexy. And I thought, and all of a sudden, something happened. I got a raging ass little boner. I'll admit it was little. I'm fucking 11, people. Come on. But this time, instead of it stinging, because I was like, oh no, I was like, no, oh, okay. It was not stinging anymore, and I was like, that kind of felt good, so I immediately ran to the bathroom and got naked and got right in the shower. Left hand clutched, and she was the centerfold. The centerfold came out, I got in that shower, and I just went to town, people. I went to town. It did not take me long, people, because I had the stroke down, the hip movements, because I'm a fucking natural like that. I came several times in a row. I just kept going. It just wouldn't stop. I was like, man, this is supposed to be like this. Hell, I didn't know nothing. I even tried to get a little inventive. So it's a shower with the tub. So I can put my foot on the outside of the tub and was going to do like an angle or some shit. I didn't really like that. I was kind of wobbly. So when I put my foot back down, I would later on come to realize what I did. I stepped in a big old puddle of my nice good love juice, and that shit is slick. And when I did that, I flew. When I flew back, I caught myself with that on. When I caught myself, because my hand has not let go of this magazine, people. My elbow was like this, but the other direction. And I broke my arm right here. It was a letter S. My back shoulder is on the bottom of the tub. My back is up against the side of the tub. These feet are hanging over the tub now. My other hand is thoroughly wrapped around my 11-year-old little dick that has still not went down yet, people. And I'm now screaming bloody murder. My mother comes running in the bathroom because at 11, I also had no concept of how to lock a door. She comes running in, looks at me, looks at what's in my hands, and just yells out, "Oh, hell no." And immediately walks out. I hear her grab my sisters, and my sisters, they're like, "Get out of the house, we're leaving now." She just leaves the house. I'm in the bathtub still. My mom's like, "Fuck gone. We're out." As she's running outside, she apparently tells my dad to go get your boy. Because I'm no longer her boy, I'm his boy now. My dad comes waltzing into the bathroom. He's already plastered. Looks at me and looks down and goes, "Hey, wait, is that my Playboy?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he looked at the other hand and he looked at me and he goes, he laughed. My leg is up. He kneels down and goes, "That's my boy." And I'm like, "Could you get me up?" I'm screaming, I'm crying. He lifts me up and is like, "Well, come on, we gotta get you to the hospital." And then he just walks outside to get in the truck. I'm still in the bathroom just sitting there. I'm like, I got a broke arm just dangling. All I could get was my little white tidy underwear on. So I put my little white tidy underwear on and I walk out the house. And I'm like, whatever, broke arm. There's my dad sitting in a truck. He has a fresh, cracked, open Coors Light in his hand and a cigarette. He's like, "Come on, we gotta get you down there." Now, we don't live about a half a mile away from the hospital. That's important. I crawl my ass in the truck. On the way to the hospital, I said, "Here, hold this." I'm now holding that fucking can of Coors Light with my good hand while the other one's just flopping around. I was going to hold that thing. No, not today. No seatbelt. In my underwear, just truck into the hospital. We get to the hospital, and Dad goes, "Well, go." And I'm like, "Dad," I was like, "You're not going to," I said, "Boy, I can't walk into the hospital with a beer in my hand and a cigarette. Get your ass out." I give him the beer. I get out. I'm like, "You gonna," and I walk a couple steps, and my dad just drives off. I'm 11, remind them, I'm 11. Oh, he goes, I walk in the hospital, the nurses know, it's a small East Texas town, everybody knows everybody. They look at me and say, "Oh my God, Kevin, get in here." And I was in there for several hours, I got a nice cast. They gave me a hospital gown, and I don't know if y'all remember in the 80s, these things called jellies. Anybody remember jellies?
Yeah.
You remember jellies? They were shitty little plastic shoes that everybody wore like crazy. It was like the 80s Crocs, but worse. And they didn't have boys' jellies or shoes that would fit my little ass. The only ones they had were the ones for girls, and they were bright ass pink. So I'm there with a cast, nothing but underwear, a hospital gown, and some pink ass jellies. I call my dad. The house phone, because we didn't have cell phones back then, people. House phone, nobody answers. Called a couple times. Called both my grandmothers. Apparently everybody was having the time of their fucking life today, except for me. Couldn't get home, nobody. So I walked home. I just walked home. I'm walking down the road as an 11-year-old with a cast and a pair of pink jellies and a hospital gown with underwear on. You got the visuals?
Yeah.
Cool. I want that to stay with you forever. I walk around. I finally get to my house, and I walk around. Now, our driveway, you go behind the house. So I walk behind the house. There's my dad and all of his friends. The minute they see me, they start clapping and applauding. Like I'm a fucking hero that just came back from Nam. And they're like, "There comes that new man." Drunk as shit, my daddy just yells out, "Hey! Get over here, boy." And I'm like, "Okay." He looked at me and I walked over, and these are things about my life I'll never forget, people. My dad looked me square in my eyes for the first time in my life and said, "You're no longer a boy. You're a goddamn man today." And I'm like, "All right," and I'm fucking proud of you. So I didn't really know which way you were going to go there for a little while. And I know now, thoroughly. I was like, and my buddy, my dad's friend, his name's Arnold's like, "You didn't let go of your dick or that magazine. This shit's impressive." So my dad lifts me up and puts me on the back of his tailgate. He's like, "No, you're hanging out with us. You ain't going in that damn house." I want to remind everybody, pink jellies, a hospital gown, a cast, and undies. My dad then grabs a marker. He goes, "I'm going to write on that cast now." And he wrote, "I love Vanna White." Just as a reminder for me and everybody, you know, it's kind of like our inside joke for a while. You would always be like, till I get a body, I'm like, yeah, yes, I do. It wasn't the first time, nor was it the last, but I beat it off to her. But he grabbed out of his cooler, and this is the biggest one of all. He grabbed out of his cooler, grabbed a fresh Coors Light, and he cracked it open. He was like, son, you became a man today, and a man deserves a beer. And he gave me a beer, and we all toast, and I downed that whole beer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my memory of the first time I got to have a beer with my daddy. Thank y'all very much.